Hello, and welcome to the Odyssey Lesson 23, Odysseus's Responses to Conflict, Book 12. In a previous lesson, you analyzed how complex characters develop over the course of a text, interact with other characters, and advance the plot or develop the theme. You were expected to complete Activity 2 of the Book 11 handout. Today, we will read Book 12 of the Odyssey, and for each major episode of Book 12, describe how Odysseus's response to conflict reveals his character. For this, you will need your copy of the Odyssey, as well as the character motivation handout for Book 12. Now, the character motivation handout is found in this lesson's post, Lesson 12 post, or Lesson 23 post on Book 12 in Google Classroom. Remember that Odysseus is still telling his story to the royal court of the Phaeacians. Today's reading will pick up as the men leave the underworld. Now we will read Book 12 together. I will stop at various moments to check for your understanding and for us to discuss some plot details. As we read Book 12, pay careful attention to the characters and conflicts that are occurring. If you will, turn in your copy of the Odyssey to page 271. That's the start of Book 12. The cattle of the sun. Now when our ship had left the ocean river rolling in her wake and launched out into the open sea with its long swells to reach the island of Aea, east where the dawn forever young has home and dancing rings and the sun has his risings. Heading in, we beached our craft on the sands. Our crews swung out on the low sloping shore, and there we fell asleep, awaiting dawn's first light. As soon as dawn with her rose-red fingers shone once again, I dispatched some men to Circe's halls to bring the dead Elpner's body. We cut logs in haste, and out on the island's sharpest jutting headland held his funeral rites in sorrow, streaming tears. Once we'd burned the dead man and the dead man's armor, heaping his grave mound, hauling a stone that coped it well, we planted his balanced oar aloft to crown his tomb. And so we saw to his rites, each step in turn. Nor did our coming back from death escape Circe. She hurried toward us, decked in rich regalia, handmaids following close with trays of bread and meats galore, and glinting ruddy wine. And the lustrous goddess, standing in our midst, hailed us warmly. Ah, my daring, reckless friends, you who ventured down to the house of death alive, doomed to die twice over, others died just once. Come, take some food and drink some wine. Rest here the livelong day, and then, tomorrow at daybreak, you must sail. But I will set you on a course and chart each sea mark, so neither on sea nor land will some new trap ensnare you in trouble, make you suffer more. Her foresight won our fighting spirits over, so all that day till the sun went down, we sat and feasted on sides of meat and heady wine, and then when the sun had set and night came on, the men lay down to sleep by the ship's stern cables. But Circe, taking me by the hand, drew me away from all my shipmates there, and sat me down, and lying beside me probed me for details. I told her the whole story, start to finish. Then the queenly goddess laid my course. Your descent to the dead is over, true, but listen closely to what I tell you now, and God himself will bring it back to mind. First, you will raise the island of the Sirens, those creatures who spellbind any man alive whoever comes their way. Whoever draws too close, off guard, and catches the sirens' voices in the air, no sailings home for him, no wife rising to meet him, no happy children beaming up at their father's face. The high, thrilling song of the sirens will transfix him, lolling there in their meadow, round them heaps of corpses rotting away, rags of skin shriveling on their bones. Race straight past that coast. Soften some beeswax and stop your shipmates' ears so none can hear. None of the crew, but if you are bent on hearing, have them tie you hand and foot in the swift ship, erect at the mast block, lashed by ropes to the mast, so you can hear the siren song to your heart's content. But if you plead, commanding your men to set you free, then they must lash you faster, rope on rope. We're going to pause here and answer a question.